Good morning, everyone. Dan Spots here on behalf of the Dallas Area Chamber of Commerce with appreciation to Trish Neal, our guest this morning, and Lisa Farquharson, our fantastic executive director of the Chamber, for bailing me out on technical issues here. Welcome to the Dallas Area Chamber's Community Affairs. Today is January 29th. I can't believe the month is almost over. Our guest this morning is Trish Neal, zooming in from Alaska and on talking about LegalShield, which is a really cool service that we all need to know about, and security fraud, things like that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll go around my screen. I'm keeping a video open on pause right now, so I want to be sure I don't miss anybody. I'm going to start with Scott McKay. Scott, go ahead with any organizational updates, folks.
Can you hear me okay now?
I can, Scott.
Okay. I had a few technical issues myself. Scott McKay, I am a volunteer for Circles of Care, and I guess that's all I have to report this morning. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Uh, Corliss, Corliss Marsh.
Good morning, everyone. Corliss Marsh, Habitat for Humanity, the library, and the senior center. Just happy to be here this morning. I'll have to leave a little early, so if I click off, I'm gone.
All righty, Corliss.
Thanks.
Leslie Naramore.
Good morning, everyone. I'm on my phone this morning, so that's why I don't have my camera on. I'm Leslie Naramore. I'm the Executive Director of Mid-Columbia Community Action Council. And one thing that I wanted to share today is that tomorrow is our first drop-in resource center, which we're going to be hosting on the last Friday of every month from 9 to 3 at the Gloria Center. And that is for houseless community members to be able to come in and connect with resources, do laundry, take a shower, have a hot meal, and just have a nice place to be. As we've been sharing this through Facebook, we've had some interesting reactions, one of which being that people are assuming that the Gloria Center is only open for 6 hours a month, which is absolutely not true. We are open every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and houseless community members can connect with us then as well. It's just that on the last Friday of the month, we'll have some extra resources available for them.
Oh, good to know. And Leslie, just in case, where is the Gloria Center for folks who might not be familiar with it?
Sure. The Gloria Center is at 2505 West 7th Street. It's behind Coastal, just down the street from where the movie theater was.
All righty. Thank you, Leslie, very much. Roger Nichols.
There we go.
There
All
we
righty.
go.
Thank you. Well, I'm wearing my hat today as a member of the original Wasco County Courthouse Board because we have our lecture series coming up, which, by the way, we have officially named the Carl Verkuteren History Forum series.
Oh, good.
I mean, he introduced them for 40 plus years and was an absolute stalwart in the whole community. So happy to do that. So I'm going to see if I can recite them from memory, and you can correct me when I'm wrong. We start off on the 7th of February, and these are all on Saturdays starting at 1:30. Admission is free, but we do pass the hat for donations. We also will have some raffle prizes, which I'll talk about in a quick moment. So we start out with Victor Johnson with Herbinghouse and all of the developments he's done with that. And I believe he'll also be serving some of his own branded coffee there for us. Second, we have actually the Neon Sign Museum going to talk about acquiring the Jansen Beach Carousel animals and their plans for that, which is going to be fascinating. Dan Bolt is coming up on the 3rd of the 21st, it should be. And he is going to talk, as a former Wasco County surveyor, is going to talk about the donation land claims and how they came together to form the Dalles and how at one point they actually limited the U.S. Army to 640 acres. Another story in that one. And then on the 28th, I will be talking, and I will talk about the other Mayor Mays, the Mayor Mace from 1871 in the Dalles, who was also served in the Oregon legislature and was a Wasco County judge. And then we have a fifth one this time, and the Fort Dalles Museum is going to be talking about the Grand Army of the Republic, which was basically the veterans group for the Civil War Union side, and they held several big get-togethers in the Dalles back in the 1890s. Now, one quick other thing I'm going to mention, and that is this: we're going to have door prizes every time, and at the end of it is a whole treasure chest that I have full of coins and a chance to be an instant millionaire. Actually, a 50 millionaire in real dollars, but they just don't happen to be U.S. dollars. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, that's my teaser. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Roger. Hey, Roger, just for the heck of it, location of the original courthouse.
Oh, that is behind the Chamber of Commerce. I think it's 410 East something place. I can't
Awesome.
remember exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Roger, very much. Julie Reynolds.
Good morning, I'm Julie Reynolds. My two main activities are the historic chapel at 5th and Union. Things are going well there. Six Rivers Dispute Resolution Center is using that regularly for their meetings. And Fort Dalles Museum, which is open this winter on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 to 4. And it's a really good time to go visit because it's quiet and you can take advantage of the docent who's there. And also our coordinator, Bob Pollock, will be giving one of the talks at the Carl Vercouteren series. That's all.
Got a lot of activities coming up in February. That's wonderful. Fort Dalles Museum up by Colonel right off at Trevitt. Let's go over to Tonya Brumley.
Good morning. Tanya Bromley with Northwest Natural, and just letting folks know that I'm also one of my other hats on the board of the Columbia Gorge of the United Way. Currently, grant applications are open for nonprofits in the gorge that serve human needs, and there's a list of application guidelines, but I know the chamber had received that and had posted it in their e-blast recently. But if you know someone who might be interested, United Way of the Columbia Gorge website, that application would be there. And if you still can't find it, holler, and I can always send it along to anyone who might be of interest. I think those close, golly, it might be the end of this week or the first week of February. I don't recall. I'm sorry, I should have been better prepared on that.
Okay, Tanya, if you have a URL that you could, a link that you could put in the chat box on that one, and the same for everyone on the call, that way we can keep that in the recording as well.
Great idea. I will do that. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Tanya. And I'm going to go over to Salvador. Salvador, are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. I work for Columbia Cascade Housing. I actually have some good news today. We have been awarded, well, not awarded as in us, but awarded as in the state of Oregon. There is some funding for foreclosure avoidance that will be coming next month. So what that means is you guys will be people will be applying with the state, well, directly through the state, that will be able to receive actual down payment, or not down payment, sorry, I apologize, foreclosure funding up to $50,000. It's not quite yet all the way available yet. It's going to be rolling out next month, and they have about roughly $7 million that they were given back from a previous program, and so they're going to give it out to people who are in need for who are facing foreclosure. What else? We were allocated home repair funding for a different project, so in total we could potentially help up to anywhere between 10 to 20 people in home repairs. And this is for low-income families. I think a section of it would be for veterans. So if anybody has any kinds of questions in regards to that, please have them reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat, and then I'll put the link for our page also as well.
Very good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Salvador. With that, I think that the only person that I need to introduce at this point, and please, everyone, let me know if I'm missing anyone. I'm having some technical issues on my side here, so can't see the entire screen at one point, is our guest speaker, Trish Neal with LegalShield. And Trish is having is zooming in from Alaska, so we're having some connectivity issues. But Trish, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and unmute, introduce yourself, and then Lisa Farquharson with the Chamber, our Executive Director, and our technical bailout person this morning will start a YouTube video. But Trish, why don't you go ahead with your intro?
Thank you. I finally, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I finally had to resort to my cell phone in order to stay connected. So, I apologize for all the extra work, but I really thank you guys for helping.
We've all been there, Trish. Don't worry about it.
So I am Trish Neal. I'm with LegalShield, and I'm a longtime member of the Dallas Chamber. And so, identity theft is a big issue, and right now is a good time to be talking about identity theft. And with that, I put stuff in the chat that goes with this. And if Lisa can hit start, that would be great. Morning. This week is recognized as Identity Theft Awareness Week by the Federal Trade Commission and its partners. And with tax season upon us, I felt it.
Can everyone
Okay,
hear the audio?
I'm gonna halt for just a second. I want to make sure, one, can you guys all hear it?
I can hear it. It's a little bit soft on this side,
Okay,
Lisa.
I can fix that. So hang on just 1 second. I'm gonna just start it right over again. It's hard because we've got three different things going here. So, Dan, I'm gonna rely on you. I'm trying two different aspects. I'm gonna click my microphone off and hit go on the video. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the video after I take my microphone off.
Thank you for joining me this morning.
All good.
This week is recognized as Identity Theft Awareness Week by the Federal Trade Commission and its partners. And with tax season upon us, I felt it was a good time to provide insight into identity theft, what it is, and how to protect yourself. So what is identity theft? Simply put, it's the fraudulent acquisition and use of a person's private identifying information, usually for financial gain. So identity theft is repeatedly a top consumer complaint category in America. And identity theft can manifest itself in many ways: credit fraud, social security fraud, driver's license fraud, medical fraud, criminal character fraud, tax return fraud, and sadly, child identity theft. So as of December 2025, there had been over 12,000 data breaches that were recorded last year. It was a 9% decrease in the number of data breaches than this time last year due to AI being able to detect data breaches much faster. But still, 16 billion total number of records were exposed in 2025. Financial losses due to identity theft last year reached 47 billion from scams and identity fraud, affecting 40 million people. And the scary part is the cyber black market is more profitable than the global illegal drug trade. Some of the top causes of data breaches is stolen credentials, ransomware, privilege misuse, and vulnerability exploitation. So here's by
Just a
age
second,
group,
I will pause.
tactics and tricks that scammers use. From age 11 through 24, their tactics is to contact social media requests, chatbots, and
Thank you for your patience, everyone. If I were trying this myself, we wouldn't even have the Zoom going right now. I promise you that. So Lisa's.
So hang on just a second. I see what happened. One of my auto thingies popped up. So yes. So
All good.
hang on. Let me get rid of this and add that.
I've got my own video off here because of
Yeah.
connectivity on my side.
Okay, so let me have that ready. Full screen again. And then hang on.
Doing good.
So fun.
I know, isn't it fun?
Okay,
Technology.
that one is sharing. And let me
Coming
make
in.
sure. Yes.
Coming in. Okay.
affecting 40
There you go.
million people.
All good.
And the scary part is the cyber black market is more profitable than the global illegal drug trade. Some of the top causes of data breaches is stolen credentials, ransomware, privilege misuse, and vulnerability exploitation. So here's by age group tactics and triggers that scammers use. From age 11 through 24, their tactics is to contact social media requests, chatbots, and they use the triggers peer-to-peer payment, messaging, social friend requests, mule recruits. When you get to 24 to 40 age group, it's robocalls and text, and the triggers is rewards, parcel tracking, peer-to-peer transfer confirmations. And then at age 41 through 65, it's email, robocalls, and text. And they're sending messages about financial information, interest rates, parcel tracking. And at age 57 to 75, and actually beyond 75, is robocalls. They're scamming for IRS, healthcare, Social Security information. So each different age groups will have different triggers, but it all ends up in the same scams that criminals use to steal your identity. So here are a few of the top mistakes that people make. Lazy and overused passwords. Almost half, 48%, use the same password for multiple accounts. 44% are storing their passwords insecurely, and 42% currently share their passwords with someone else. Oversharing on social media. 91% of those surveyed have a social media account, and of that audience, 84% have at least one identifying element of their identity, such as an email, full name, age, birthday, location, school affiliation, included in their social media profile. Accepting emails from unknown senders. 90% of respondents are wary of opening links from a sender they are not familiar with. However, fewer people are as concerned when it's coming from someone they know. Trusting public Wi-Fi. 68% of participants said they would join the public Wi-Fi option, putting them at risk of malicious hotspots, malware distribution, man-in-the-middle attacks, and using an unencrypted network. Stealing your personal information techniques that are used. Dumpster diving. Rummaging through trash for personal information. Don't discard anything with your personal information. Shredding is your best defense. Retrieving personal data from computer equipment. Wiping your equipment clean from all data before discarding. Using public records about individual citizens such as electoral rolls. Stealing bank or credit cards, identification cards, passports, authentication tokens, including pickpocketing, housebreaking, or mail theft. Common knowledge questioning. What was your first car model? Skimming information from bank or credit cards to obtain a clone card. Using contactless credit card readers to acquire data wirelessly from RFID and enabled passports. Gas stations and point-of-sale locations are the most popular used. Stealing personal information from computers using malware, Trojan horse, keystroke, and other spyware. Hacking computer networks, systems, and databases. Browsing social network websites for personal details. Fake antivirus software. Those are pop-up alerts on your computer that claim you have a virus and need to download software to remove it. The software is actually malware designed to steal your personal information. Do not click on anything. So passwords are critical in protecting yourself. And this graph shows the time it takes a hacker to brute force your web password. And this was done in 2024. So you can see the minimal number of characters, the quicker it takes to get in, even with using numbers, upper and lowercase, and symbols. So the more characters you have, the better chance are that you're going to protect yourself. And some places will actually generate a strong password, and I use that often, and I'm able to save that to my computer for future reference. That I can also suggest that just in case something happens to you and somebody needs to get into your computer system, if you have it password protected, writing those down in a booklet is very helpful. Just make sure that you guard it. So I want to talk specifically about child identity theft. The rates are higher than adults and harder to detect. In this case, this child is going to be 4 and is already in debt $39,000. 1 in 11 children will be a victim of identity theft. This is the biggest group that is targeted because it may be until they're 18 that they are even aware of anything that they have bad credit, they've been the victim of identity theft. And it's after, if you're 4 years old and it's 14 years later, you have a lot to unravel. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, these are steps that you might remind the children to stay safe online by not sharing your personal information. Do not meet anyone who you have only become friends with online. Do not accept messages and friend requests from people you do not know. Not everything online is reliable. People online are strangers, and you can't always trust everything they say. And then tell an adult you trust if anything happens online that you do not like. Cyberbullying is another problem online, and we're seeing more and more of that. So explain to your children or your grandchildren that they should log off any site where the bullying is happening. Block emails or messages, don't respond to them. Save the message or email and show an adult, and tell someone you trust. And if this is happening to your child, be sure to contact the police department with all this documentation. It could be that even the FBI could become involved. But make sure that your children understand that this is not a good thing to happen. So how can you detect identity fraud? Detecting identity fraud early is crucial to minimizing its impact. And here are some common ways to identify if you've become a victim. Unexplained charges. Regularly check your bank and credit card statements for any unauthorized or unfamiliar transactions. Unexpected bills or statements. Receiving invoices or bills for services or credit accounts you didn't open or use can be a clear sign of identity fraud. Credit report discrepancies. You should obtain your free annual credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and look for unfamiliar accounts, loans, or credit inquiries. And if you do find something, you need to dispute that. Decline credit or loan application. Being unexpectedly denied credit or loans despite having a good credit history may indicate fraudulent activity. You get an email, a text message, or a phone call out of the blue asking you to validate or confirm banking details. So warnings to look out for. Debt collection calls. This is another way of receiving calls from debt collectors about debts you don't recognize could mean your identity has been used to obtain credit. IRS notices. If the IRS sends you a notice about income from an employer you don't recognize, it might indicate tax-related identity theft. Medical bill errors. Receiving bills for medical services you didn't receive can indicate medical identity theft. And this is critical because once your medical history is compromised, you may not have access to it. Missing mail. Not receiving expected mail such as bills, financial statements, or other correspondence could suggest your mail has been intercepted or redirected. Account change notifications. Alerts about changes to your online accounts, such as password resets or contact information updates that you didn't initiate, are red flags. And more, a lot of places are actually sending you a notification that, hey, did you change this? And if not, then you need to do something about it. So by paying attention to these indicators, you can quickly detect identity fraud and take the necessary steps to address it. So I wanted to talk specifically too about what is tax identity theft. Tax identity theft happens when someone uses your stolen personal information, including your social security number, name, and date of birth, to file a fake tax return and receive a refund from the IRS. This information may also be used to perpetrate other financial crimes, including opening credit accounts or obtaining loans. And when I worked for the employment department, I had a few people come in to file for unemployment and to find that somebody else was using their social security number. And that's a real critical thing, because you may be charged with the wages that they've been earning using your social security number. So it is critical to be careful. What the IRS will never do, and it's important to remember that the IRS has specific procedures, and knowing what they won't do is a key defense against scams. And we've been dealing with IRS here, and believe me, they have procedures and they don't bend. So the IRS will never initiate contact by email, request personal or financial information via text or social media. They won't call taxpayers with threats of lawsuits or arrest. They won't call, email, or text to request taxpayers' identity protection pins. And they won't ask taxpayers to wire money, pay with a prepaid debit card, or share credit card information over the phone. And here's the big tip: shred old tax returns you're no longer required to keep, as well as draft returns, extra copies, and calculation sheets. Don't have them around if they're not needed. So how to protect yourself? Protect your social security number. Never share your social security number over the internet or with unverified callers. LegalShield has actually gone to only asking for the last 4 digits of your social security number as part of that to protect people. Be cautious online. E-filing is generally faster and more secure than mailing a paper return. It minimizes the number of people who handle your sensitive information, which decreases the chance of it being intercepted. But be sure to use a secure internet connection and a reputable tax filing service. File your tax return as early as you can. Early filing can protect you against identity thieves attempting to file a fraudulent return under your name. And if someone attempts to file a return using your social security number after you have filed, it will be flagged by the IRS as a duplicate. Be cautious of mail theft. Send your return directly from the post office. Actually walk in and deposit it in the post office. This provides a slight sense of added security. But thieves still can access mailboxes, including those at post offices, and potentially intercept mail during transit, so be sure to drop it in early in the day. Before using a tax preparation professional, thoroughly research their credentials. It's crucial to thoroughly research and choose a qualified and trustworthy professional, as not all tax preparers are created equally. And so look for credentials like CPA, enrolled agent, or membership in professional organizations. A reputable tax professional not only helps you file your taxes accurately, but also acts as a guardian of your sensitive information, reducing your risk of falling victim to tax identity theft. So if you suspect you're a victim of tax identity theft, don't delay. The sooner you inform the IRS, the sooner they can start working to correct the fraudulent activity and prevent further damage. You must immediately call the IRS Identity Theft Hotline at that 800 number. Early intervention is key to minimizing the impact of tax identity theft. So there's a couple of other resources too. The IRS identity theft information is at irs.gov/identity-theft. And the Federal Trade Commission also has a website, identitytheft.gov. So for the best practices for staying safe online include choosing strong passwords that do not include personal information. Use capitalization, numbers, special characters to make it unique. A password manager stores all passwords in a digitally secure way, eliminating the need to write passwords down or memorize them. Install malware protection technologies to detect, block, and remove threats. Use a virtual private network, VPN, to hide IP addresses and create a secure encrypted online connection. Regularly check your credit card and or bank statements to ensure that suspicious transactions are detected. Log directly onto websites you're interested in rather than clicking on links provided in an email or even on Facebook. Dealing with scams. So here's a safe checklist for dealing with scams. Ignore and delete unsolicited emails, texts, and calls. Don't click on links, open attachments, or call back unknown numbers. Never give personal information, passwords, banking information, social security, credit cards to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly. Verify independently. If a company or bank supposedly contacted you, use a verified number or website to check, not the contact information they give. Use strong, unique passwords, enable two-factor authentication on accounts. And I know that two-factor authentication can sometimes be a pain, but it could save you. Keep devices updated with security patches and antivirus software. And you can report scams to the FTC through their identitytheft.gov website or calling their hotline. And also, you should be contacting the police department. So ID Shield. This is what we have the best identity theft plan around. So if a professional steals your identity, you need professional help. And without professional assistance, victims often spend months or even years trying to restore their identity, along with thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket expenses. ID Shield is a multi-award winning identity theft and personal cybersecurity plan. And if you ever become a victim, you're assigned one dedicated investigator who works your case from start to finish, no matter how long it takes. And that if it's 2 years, 3 years, they work it until it's done. We monitor what matters and your privacy on your social security number, date of birth, driver's license, etc., and more. And also your security, your bank account number, credit card numbers, debit card, and more. I received emails from ID Shield periodically to let me know that something needs attention. So they're really good about staying on top of that. And this is what our plan. Family plan is $34.95 per month with 3 bureau monitoring. The individual plan is $19.95 with 3 bureau monitoring. And these also come with coverage for your digital devices. We track your credit score. We monitor and alert for credit score, social security number, and address, email, phone, date of birth, court and public records, dark web and internet, social media, and more. The dark web is really critical because that's something that you probably would not be able to really define if you were doing this on yourself. Financial threshold account monitoring, if you've got large withdrawals or balance transfers for credit cards, checking, savings account, retirement plans, loans, and more, they will send you alert. Privacy check. It helps keep your information away from data brokers, and that's how scammers are able to contact you from all their data mining. Trend Micro is it's a VPN. It turns a public hotspot into a secure Wi-Fi connection. So that's all your devices, your computer, like your laptop or your cell phone. It has a password manager and a multiple device protection for your digital life. Cybersecurity and device protection. We help protect your devices from viruses, malware, and ransomware. And then reputation management. This is really critical. If you're out there in the job market and looking for work, you want to know that you're not popping up somewhere looking bad. I even have them contact me if they take issue with something I posted on Facebook. So this is really good to have on your tools to protect yourself. We offer identity consultation, identity theft specialist available 24/7. For covered emergencies, we do full service restoration by licensed private investigators, and we have a $3 million for covered identity theft related losses. And we offer more than with just what's here. So as said, you need a professional to help you, and at times it could mean that you need an attorney to help get the rest of this identity theft covered. We offer our preferred legal plan. It covers the member, spouse, and eligible dependent children. Consultation and limited number of personal legal matters, letters or phone calls, document review, residential loan document, preparation of your annual reviews and updates of your will, durable power of attorney, physician's directive, or call your living will. And this is part of your membership. It's a huge savings right there. We do help with traffic tickets, advice and consultation. Sometimes they'll even go to court on your behalf. Property damage assistance, there's some issues there. And the civil trial defense, there's a set number of hours that you have for pretrial and trial. which saves you money. IRS audit assistance, consultation, audit representation, and pretrial negotiation for personal tax return. This is really great, especially if you get a letter from IRS saying, we'd like to talk to you. You will not be alone. And that is really important that you not go to an IRS interview without representation. We also offer uncontested minor child adoption, name change, civil annulment or separation or divorce, prenuptial and postnuptial preparation, 24/7 emergency access if your rights are being denied or threatened, such you're being detained by law enforcement or someone is trying to take your children away. And it's whether it's 2 a.m. in the morning, 2 p.m. on a Saturday, or 10 a.m. on Christmas Day. It's 24/7. We also offer, this is new, online notarization up to 5 per membership year. We have e-signature unlimited, and then if there's something that isn't covered by the plan, a 25% discount off the provider law firm standard hourly rate. We also have a phone app for that. You can contact the law firm through that, or you can call. They're very, very gracious about helping you out. And that concludes my presentation today. I thank you. If you have any questions, I would be happy to help you.
Very good. It looks like Roger has a question.
Yeah, Trish, this feels kind of like a potpourri. I can't quite get my head around this. It feels like, is this a retainer for a law firm, and it's a app, and it's tax help? So this is quite an interesting conglomerate. I'm not sure how to think of it. Is it an insurance policy of some sort, or all of those?
It's all of the above. It's you consider this as buying power. A percentage of each membership is paid as you want to call it, a retainer to the law firm. So you have access to the entire law firm. You're always speaking with someone who has the expertise in the topic that you're calling about. So you're not going to be talking to an estate attorney if you've got a civil issue. You're not going to be talking to a real estate expertise if you have, questions about filing an estate or trust. We've been around for over 50 years, 25 years in 4 provinces of Canada. So it's quite unique. And yeah, and there's no contracts to sign. It's not so basically it's a subscription, no different than if you were subscribing to Netflix or YouTube or something like that.
Okay. I just want to follow up. If there's kind of a little confusing there, because it sounds like you have access to an attorney, but then I also noticed that they get a discount on their billing rate. So does this give you like the first $500 something covered, or how does that work?
So you pay the monthly membership, which in this case the preferred plan is $37.95, and that gives you access to the entire law firm. As I showed you on the screen, there's a lot that we cover as part of that plan. So if you call about one of those issues, they're not charging you. Your membership is covering all that. But if there's something that they need to do for you that is not under that plan, you receive a 25% discount off of their hourly rate.
Gotcha. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Great. Thanks.
Trish, how long have you been with LegalShield?
Over 18 years.
Okay. And you're the Alaska representative, but you're from the Dalles. You're coming back down here.
Yep. I love the Dalles.
All right. I've got a few questions, but I'm going to turn it over to the group here. Other questions for Trish?
Mine's more of a comment. I took a screenshot of the time it takes a hacker to brute force your password. That's really an interesting layout of a table of how to build a password. Anyway, is that okay that I took that screenshot? I'm not going to do anything with it.
Trish, on that point, Julie, thank you for asking. This video, I think, is going to be posted to the Chamber website. There was a lot of information on there. and tips of the trade and things to know. And that was cool. Like I'm never going to do a password with fewer than 7 characters, I think. Maybe 8 or 9 or 10 for and things like that. So we'll have access to that video.
I'm going
Other
to
questions?
interrupt for just a second. I'm going to let you guys know that'll be up by next week on our YouTube Community Affairs channel, and we will have the video played that was just here. We're going to see if we can do a little magic so my oops goes away. But we'll also post the links to the documents that Trish sent, and that will be attached into that entry for that channel for this episode.
Very good. Thank you, Lisa. All right, other questions for Trish? Trish, a few comments I've got, a few other tips that I've heard, and tell me if these are right or not from your experience. One, if you get a mailing, a physical mailing, and it has a QR code in it, don't follow the QR code because you don't really know who that mailing is from.
Correct.
Okay? Another one, somebody gives you a call. Hi, is this Scott McKay? Don't say yes, because
Correct.
your yes is recorded and can
Yep.
be used against you. Is that true?
Yep.
And finally, one that Michelle almost caught with Michelle, but she's on top of this stuff, so it didn't catch her. But there was a business card in a actually, it was a local business, and we wanted to know more about that service, and it just had a website. So Michelle plugged in the website and immediately got a warning. Her Apple Pay had been charged $250. Well, she went to her Apple Wallet, and no, it had not. But that was a new one. We've never had that one happen. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I sometimes have gotten onto a website and suddenly pops up that you've got um, malware, or and people will panic and they say click here if you want to do that. You don't click. Just back out of everything. And what I used to do, I totally shut down and then reboot just
Yep.
to be sure. It's crazy out there what they can do, and AI isn't helping.
And don't call the phone number. You mentioned that in yours, but this was the warning that she received on her Apple Pay. Call this phone number to learn more. We checked the phone number. No, the phone number didn't exist, or not as it was presented.
Well, interesting. The other day I got a call from a company that I order clothing from, and saying that my bill was past due, which I was surprised because I'm always paying at the first of the month. But rather than pay through the phone, I went directly to the website and paid it there. Not that it couldn't be, but I wanted to make sure that if it was past due, then it needed to be paid. And so those are the things that you can end up in trouble if you don't confirm and try to pay it over the phone and then find out that, whoops, wrong number.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. You mentioned a term. Oh, Julie, go ahead.
I have my phone because I'm not in business, I'm not getting calls that I want to receive from people I don't know. I have my cell phone set to only ring through calls that are in my call list.
Mhm.
And if somebody that isn't in my call list wants to contact me, then they can leave a message and I can call them back. And that really gets rid of a lot of those calls that come through that you don't want to get.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I don't answer calls unless I happen to know the number. And of course, if it's somebody I know, then their name pops up that um, they're out there, and so I don't answer them. If they want to talk to me, they can leave a message.
Chris, you'd use. No, Scott, go ahead.
Just another comment. Not taking any emails from people you don't know, but I think many of us have had the experience of getting an email from people we do know, and it just doesn't sound right. And I'm real cautious when I get those emails that, I'm sorry I forgot the meeting, and then you think, well, there was no meeting. How could you forget it? And I never reply to those. In fact, I try to find the person In fact, I needed to talk to Phil Brady and find out if he actually sent that email or text message. But yeah, you got to be real careful of even the people you do know of
Yes,
getting messages.
exactly.
I want to add on to that. I get several from people I do know who's every so often they get their email hacked, and it always has to do with pictures. Hey, got some great photos. You want to see these, and of course you click on them, and that's the malware installation. So yeah.
Yeah. Always be cautious.
I have a comment. This is Vesta Smith. We recently in actually just in early December had our US bank account attacked. And I got it, the way I found it was that I got an email from US Bank and it said, "Congratulations on your new account." So then when I went online to my own account, there were new accounts there. Just they were just trying to get them set up, and then they would be able to transfer my checking or savings into their accounts. And so when I contacted the US Bank, they have actually our bank account has been frozen since mid-December so that money can go in, but no money can come out until they get everything all straightened out. So it's out there very, and so be really observant of everything, your credit cards, your bank accounts, everything.
Yeah, and if you receive emails that look like they came from your bank should have an email like fraud or something that you can actually forward those emails to your bank. So they're aware of it. So you might check with your bank if they have a specific email to send those to, because I get periodically, I do get those, and it's from banks I don't even bank with.
Yes, I have the direct phone number to the fraud department at US Bank now.
And as a reminder, if there's a phone number in that email that you received, don't call that phone number.
Right.
Verify the phone number. Use the one that you know works. That's proper.
And Dan, one other thing is that in my youthful days, we may have had 3 or 4 different credit cards. And more recently, we only use one with US Bank, but we've gone back and just locked all the other credit cards. I understood that if you cancel sometimes a credit card, that may affect your credit rating. So we wanted to not to do that, but we just all our old credit cards, we just have them locked. And so we know no one's going to get into them.
Good idea.
Good strategy. Trish, you had mentioned a term earlier or in your video, man in the middle. Could you explain that one?
You've got somebody, how do I explain that? Here, let me, it has to do with, and I'm trying to come up with it. It's,
Somebody I think you're texting or you're on a phone call or something, and actually someone else is impersonating one of the other 2 people. You think you're talking I think I'm talking to Scott, but I'm really not talking to Scott. Something like that.
yeah, it's, they're,
We can come back to that one and get a definition on that one. It's a really tricky one.
well, you've got somebody in between you and like you're online on the website. And so they've bumped into in between, and so control things. It's I haven't heard about a lot of it of that often, but it is definitely an issue with identity fraud, and usually it's that's the important thing about having a virtual private network or a VPN, so that you're being encrypted so that they can't see you. They can't tell where you're coming from.
And I just encountered the term yesterday. So these thieves continue to evolve, and so yeah, it's just it's a new one. Apparently, it's a new one, but we always have to keep discovering these things, sometimes the hard way.
Yeah.
Other questions for Trish? This is good discussion.
I have VPN, but I have to keep it turned off because it messes with my Outlook email, which is really annoying. So I just don't use it, even though I'm paying for it.
I'm checking, Lisa wanted to be sure that we're still recording, and we are. So that's all good.
Yeah. So, Dan, here's a better explanation. A man-in-the-middle or MITM attack occurs when a threat actor secretly intercepts communication between two parties. And it usually happens when hackers break into a Wi-Fi network or router, or when they impersonate someone by spoofing a website to eavesdrop, manipulate, or steal information.
Okay, there we go. And again, we are going to have that YouTube link to the chamber here next week, I think Lisa mentioned. So all of those details on there are good to know.
I have one other question for Trish regarding passwords. You aren't supposed to use the same password, for every site. And if you change passwords, how much do you have to change? Could you change? Is it effective at all to change maybe one character in your password so it could be unique for each of your sites, or do you have to be more robust in changing your password?
You could. There's a couple of sites that I just change the year. But like with banks and stuff, some of them want you to change your password every month, and you come up with a new one. So that's why if you have something that's generating a new strong password, it really helps. But yeah, you really should change something more than one letter or a symbol. But it all depends on how well you want to protect your identity.
Okay, thank you.
I might be going overboard, but I have a different password for every single thing that I use. So I've got probably 150 passwords easily. I put them on a Word document, which is on an isolated computer. I print the Word document. I fold it, put it in my sock drawer, and then go back to that isolated Word document each time I have to update a password or add a new one. But boy, it's a pain.
But it's smart.
I just want to know which is your sock drawer and when are you leaving the house next time?
Funny. But it's good to have it because if something does happen to you and they need to get into your bank accounts, it really helps to have that. My son-in-law had to have emergency surgery. And he was in a coma for 11 days, and my daughter had no way of knowing how to get in to pay bills because he always paid the bills. Big learning experience for them to make sure that she knows what the passwords are. And there's a place to find those passwords. So yeah, that was scary.
Indeed. So a couple of people you trust, have them have access to those passwords. Other questions for Trish? Very informative this morning, as always.
Well, thank you.
If not, I think we might wind down and give folks a few more minutes of their morning. Sound okay? Last call for questions? All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining Community Affairs this week. Been a pleasure, and we will see you next Thursday. It's going to be February already. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.